What's going on? I'm gonna be doing a couple like reaction videos. The first video is basically with Cam Newton. Cam Newton, pretty much he said pretty much what I've been saying as far as like about just the basics of like the responsibilities of that women should have as far as you know just domestic things. Like he didn't really say anything advanced, and this is basically in response to basically a lot of black men because of just how it is in society as far as just in terms of a lot of black people have to go rags to riches. Okay, what I mean by they have to go rags to riches, they tend to not be born in upper class. They're not the black upper class is very, very small. I mean, no matter how rich people think that they are in their mind, or how high, even being high value is not necessarily even upper class. Okay, um, there's actually an elite class, right? A high value man, according to Kevin Samuels, or even before Kevin Samuels, if even if you make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, um, that's really good, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can comfortably afford to actually live rich, or live like you have a high net worth lifestyle. A lot of times people that even try to do that end up being highly paid and broke because of trying to actually live the lifestyle. But that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm primarily talking about people that have a very much high income of like I would say $1 million plus a year, no less than $500,000 a year. Those people are what would be called the uber rich. Going back to black men in the black community, a lot of times people that actually make it into a lot of times in sports and entertainment, I'm going to be talking about two individuals. First being Cam Newton, and second, Bandman Kevo, which is someone that's like a he's like a financial kind of whiz. He kind of what's unique about him is that in case you didn't know who he was, he's kind of like a combination of a rapper and also a financial uh expert. Now, some people will say that his advice is not very good. I'll be the first person to say some of the things I've heard him say is kind of leery, but I mean the thing about it is one thing's about me, I don't knock the hustle as long as it's not, you know what I'm saying, nothing that necessarily is affecting me or really a detriment on society. As far as I can see, I don't see him doing anything like that. I mean, like selling, talking about selling crack to kids or anything like that. So it's like basically I look at it like, I mean, the man is he's got a lot of sense as far as his advice, but outside of the advice, basically he makes a living. He makes a nice comfortable living for himself. He in the interview is going to be talking about his uh I think wife, and the problems that he's having, and the problems that he's having, and even what Cam Newton is talking about on an interview he did with $1 million worth of game, is that you have a lot of women that basically settle into thinking that below mediocrity actions and behaviors is okay, and basically those women are pretty much subprime women. The just kind of singular word for it would be a strag, and basically they're gonna be talking. The first video you probably already seen. The second one might have not seen it. I got the link for that video in the description. I'm gonna get right into it. Basically, this is the first interview, and this is Cam Newton basically talking about his issues with basically the modern woman um, in America. So I'm gonna share my video, share my screen, and get right into it. All right.
A perfect, a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a three-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
So basically, those basically things that Cam Newton mentioned are very much basic ideas. Now, I've seen the reactions of those videos. I mean that video from I mean the ESPN announcers. They actually they said that they were against the comments that he said because I think Cam Newton is not in the NFL. Um, Basically, I'll be surprised if any NFL team actually picks him up, even though he still pretty much has a lot of life left in his career, in my opinion. And I've seen women from very high up to down, basically don't criticize his comments. And the thing about it is, it goes back to being mediocre for women is acceptable to a lot of men. Okay, what I mean by that is a lot of men in America, because they think and feel as though uh they all they can afford is what they can get, and a lot of men are actually thirsty in America, highly thirsty. um they need like they're like, in a desert. They're so damn thirsty that they're willing to deal with a lot of basic women, or even women that are below basic, meaning they don't even do basic stuff like cook, clean, uh, basically cheerlead for their man, and just shut the fuck up and be quiet. Like those are just basic stuff. Those are actually, I did a video about this in 2020, where I was talking about overweight women and stuff like that, right? Not working out. I mean, you can include that in. That's what you learn like in grammar school and gym class, stretch, workout, in the military. If you've been in the military like myself, been in the Navy, I mean, you wake up actually PTing every single day. That's what you have to do. And you really should be trying to do that every day, really. That's what they really training you to always have your body at the ready, in prime shape in case you gotta go, in case you gotta go to battle, right? So the thing is that going back to just basics, all of everything what he just mentioned was basic stuff. Okay. And yeah, I'm basically just I just be sitting back and watching people, as far as their reaction, primarily women. I mean, any man that is against what he said is 100% a super Saiyan simp, in my opinion, because basically what you're saying is, it's totally acceptable for a woman to not even do basic stuff. And I mean, it's nothing elite about that. It's nothing high in value about that. That's very lowbrow type of expectations. So I'm going to get right into the second video, and I mean this is definitely fair use, and pretty much this is basically Bandman Kevin's Say Cheese interview, and this is definitely in the description. If you don't want to hear my commentary, I put the link in the description. If you want to just watch the video or watch it later, you welcome to do so. This is just for educational purposes. Okay. When I saw this interview on my way into my office, and basically this was like it was mind blowing. It was the interview was so good that I basically I had to pause it because it was just too much to crunch. So I'm gonna get right into this video, and we're gonna talk about this. He was dropping so many bombs that I mean it was like bombs over Baghdad, man. So This is pretty much the interview. I'm gonna get right into it, get my commentary on it.
Man, Kevo, how you doing? You already know, man. You know, a lot of drama been going on. You know, we got a lot to talk about, my boy. I see, man. You living your life, Hollywood Hills. Yeah. $1 million crib.
So first off, is that he's got a like kind of a riff with his wife. I guess separated. I don't want to speculate, but he mentioned some stuff. I think on he made it public that him and his wife they had a rift, and he's gonna be talking about it.
Dollar jewelry. Yeah. Yes, sir. Now on the flip side of that, man, you know, you've been going viral for a lot of good, and you know, as of lately, you know, a little bit of bad has been popping up online with allegations about you kicking out your wife, as a lot of people didn't even know you were married, your wife, and then your son. You know, take us through that and how accurate those allegations are. Like I knew it was something, you know what I mean, when I seen it. I'm just like, you know, what's really going on. So for anybody that don't know, you know, my lease was up in October of 2021. My lease was up. So what I did, I said, instead of me and Dimes continue to stay together, because, you know, I invite a lot of celebrities over, and, you know, it'd be my kids, my family, it'd be too much going on. So I decided to say, okay, how about I get you your own place and I get my own place? You know, Dime didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, well, we got to do something, because that's what I'm trying to do to move forward. So I did it anyways. I say, okay, my crib gonna be ready in a month. Your crib will be ready in a month. We just gonna do the hotels. I had to stay in a hotel for a month. You know what I mean? Which is $1,800 a month. I mean, $1,800 a week. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get you your nice hotel. I'm gonna stay in a nice hotel. My crib got ready. Boom. I'm in my crib. I'm steady telling her, you know what I mean? Like where you want to stay. She can't make up her mind of exactly what she want to do or where she want to stay, because she still can't take in the fact that I want to stay by myself. She don't like that. She like, you just want your own.
Let me tell you something. You know, I started off my first video as far as chess philosophy is the pawn. It's a red flag when you have a woman, okay, that does not know how to make a decision. You know, or even if they can't say, I don't know yet, sweetheart or babe or whatever. Um, I'll get back with you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know tomorrow or something like that. Like when you got a woman that does not make any decision whatsoever, that is a big major red flag. And I'm talking about, I'm not saying she's your woman. I'm saying like you in a dating and courting phase. I mean, basically what he's talking about and what he's most likely going to have to do is play damage control. A lot of times when you in a relationship and you trying to, basically grow, and you trying to deal with someone, and they're kind of dragging you down. Well, when you split up, you have to play, well, you don't have to, but most men, they play damage control, which meaning they set up everything to where, as far as any financial obligations, anything that as far as they need for their children, they get a lawyer, or they already sign up a lawyer for the future upcoming litigation. I mean, basically that's what he's talking about. But yeah, it's a major red flag when you have a woman. I'm not talking about she can't figure out what she want to eat. I'm talking about like a major decision where she want to live, as far as a hotel, I mean, or a place to live, um as any important decision, and she can't necessarily make a decision. And then here's another thing. He's being liberal. A lot of times in certain dynamics, in a let's just say a prime woman, a submissive woman, right? I'm not even talking about an agreeable woman. Um, basically you make the decisions for her. You make the decision because if you got a dynamic where you know your woman doesn't make decisions and she doesn't question your moves, key word, doesn't question your moves, basically you make the decisions for her. You don't be like, okay, where you want to. See, we're taught by our moms a lot of times. A lot of black men are raised with our mothers, and then that's their whole liberalism, democratic bullshit, where you like ask where do you want to do stuff. We be accommodating. Like that's really why a lot of one of the reasons that when you ever see a video where you see someone from another culture, whether it be Hispanic, whether it be white, whether it be Asian, one of the reasons they like black men is because we're very fucking accommodating. We're the most accommodating motherfuckers, like when it comes to dating, because we're taught from a child to really please women. You know, I actually go in about that pretty dark as far as my video I did on beta cucks. But yeah, we some most accommodating motherfuckers, man. As far as in the dating world, man, or whatever mating world, you could even say, because a lot of times, when you make, when you pay the cost to be the boss, when you got a lot of cash and cash is king, you make the decisions. You spending the money, so you make the decisions. And when you lead with that and you stand on that, it's a lot of times there's no issues. You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna get you this hotel, take it or leave it. Because it's always like, the thing that you can be liberal on is far. I'm just speaking for myself, okay? You could take my advice or throw it in the trash can for all I say. A lot of times a relationship is always take it or leave it. At any time, the door is right there. It's right there. You could take it or you could leave it. Now, when you taking it, you pretty much you gonna take the decision that I make because I'm the one paying the bills. That's one of the things about being that 100% man. You don't have to worry about, like for example, this kind of goes back into business. This goes back into uh, quote unquote business or even corporate or whatever. You have a manager. Your manager, he ain't gonna in a work setting, they ain't gonna ask you where you want to go. Your desk is pretty much, or your office is where it's gonna be. That's where your office is. Wherever you're gonna sit in the company, that's where you're gonna be. It ain't no you get to choose. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever your boss say, you gotta go adhere to. You can give a little lip, but basically, a lot of managers don't want to hear that shit. And they'll be like, okay, I gotta keep listening to this woman's lip or this man's lip. I'm gonna just file some paperwork with HR and then just send him walking papers because I ain't got time to keep explaining to this guy every day, explaining to this woman every day. I mean, it happens pretty much every single day. You know, people get let go. But the thing is, yeah, you pay the cost, you pay the boss. I mean, you know, you pay to be the boss, you make the decisions. All that liberalism, you accommodating. I ain't gonna lie, I'm accommodating like a motherfucker too. That's something that I'm, really gotta work on, man, too, because I be so damn accommodating, man. I be like, damn. And then when it's respect, it's cordial and everything, and it's reciprocity is cool. But when you don't get no reciprocity, you start thinking about, damn, man, I was accommodating. I got a nice room. I paid for the meals. I had a good time, but god damn me, I wasn't really respected like I wanted to be. So you know, that's just something that's a first red flag I see, you know, amongst many he's gonna be mentioning.
Because you want to have hoes and you want to do this. How come I can't stay with you? That's not fair and all this type of weird shit. I'm just like, bro, I'm a loner. You know what I mean? I'm very clean. I'm very organized. I'm very disciplined. Sometimes, as a female, females tend to be more careless on the cleaning side, or careless about this, or I might be trying to work and my baby crying, and the condo is too small. I feel like if I get you a house or something like that, I can come over anytime. You know what I mean? And it'd be better. Trust me. Like, you get what you want, but she didn't want that. She felt like, I want to stay with you. Why can't we just stay with you? So she turned it down cribs. She's not able to get cribs. She's not able to do this. I don't know why, but I'm just like, okay, cool. I'll make a deal with her. I say, listen, I get you this big ass house in Texas, brand new. It's about $340,000. She say, yeah, I'll take it. I said, okay, cool. Now, I'm not the rich one. Bandman Kevo is the rich one. I'm Kevin Ford. You know what I mean? So I say, I got to get it in my business name because my business makes the money, not me. So she said, oh, no, if you got to get it in your business name, I don't want it. I said,
Okay, see this is I'm gonna throw some things out there. Okay, one, let's just call it. You know, shout out to BGS more. Bandman Kevin is a 85 octane upgraded man. Okay, you know, a lot of people they shit on the whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing, but you got guys, man, that actually they I call them sophisticated thugs. Okay, they actually get a level of sophistication about them. Like they get with the right people, they start reading books, you know, they start researching, and then they start upgrading their life, upgrading their lifestyle. Bandman Kevin was able to transition, you know, from whatever humble beginnings he had to better beginnings. Not everybody can do that. Not you know, on my video basically of bougie people, the types of bougie people. I mean, basically, Bandman Kevin is a bougetto, right? But you know, he's transitioning, right? He's getting, you know, very much into the you know, lifestyle of the rich and famous. Well, his wife, right? She's come from the same stock, 85 octane type of stock, right? She's not able to transition to that lifestyle with him. And this is basically all of what he's complaining. She is, you know, basically not able to really transition into that, you know. And this is quite common. And this is why a lot of times I'm gonna keep it real. I don't really say this much, but I don't really like to deal with women that are 85s. I really, to be honest, don't like to deal with any women that's below 89 octane because of this fact. And then other things such as a lot of times basic stuff to them is very boring and just general to me. Like, you know, even the conversations that we have, a lot of times I have to dumb myself down in conversations. You know, my ex-wife was like a 87 octane, you know, and you know, if you say too much, they can't understand or comprehend what the hell you saying. Like they, you know, you can't understand what the words are coming out my mouth, you know. um and they can't really dialogue with you all the time because they like, what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. You're on a different wavelength, than them. I mean, honestly, even when I talk to 89 octanes and even 92 octanes, it might go that way too. But the thing is that definitely a lot of times it's like general when I have conversations with women that is like below 87 octane, and whatnot, because they just it's you talk about food, you talk about current events and shit like that, and that's pretty much it. I can't go into um you know 15th century Europe Renaissance and talk about the author of the Bible, King James, and uh the Protestant Reformation. I can't go into Freudian philosophy and you know the Council of Nicaea. I can't talk about a lot of like really super advanced shit. And then because a lot of times there's so much level of narcissism and entitlement and just basically overall disrespect and a lack of submission, they are not, a lot of times are incapable of learning because they think that basically going back to even BGS said, more shame, guilt to need to be right. Like they always right and you're wrong. So they a lot of times they're uncoachable, unteachable. So they can't learn the shit. You offer them a book, they won't read it. So it's like that a lot of times that's why I just don't deal with women that's below a certain like octane scale, 87 below, because the lack of education, the lack of just knowledge that they have or knowing is just so much that they're only good for basic shit and then sex. And it's like, well, the only problem with that is when you're risking basically having a child and being tied to this woman, and then you got to deal with this basic ass person, that has your children, you know. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna continue playing this, and basically, if you just joined, this is Bandman Kevin complaining about his ex or his current spouse, in their living situations.
What type of girl gonna tell you it's a house is a house? Lady, if somebody was offering me a home, I'm gonna take that home, correct? I'm gonna take that home. I don't give a fuck if it's in your business name, your daddy name, your mama name, you feel me? Give me the home. She said, nah, because something can happen and you might want to put me out of that house and this and that. So it gave me red flags. I feel like, why would you think that I would put you out of a house if you ain't gonna do nothing? Like I don't understand. Like, it's in my business. No, because you might kick me out. Like, so this is why I have these same conversations on Say Cheese about females. That's why I never put them first. Never. Now, as far as her, I rock with Dime more because of the jail thing. Now, we about to get into that too. You know what I mean? Because people like, oh man, she held you down. She did this. Let's just be honest, man. Let me just be honest, because I'm the type of person where if you do something for me, whether it's big or small, I feel like I'm going to look out for you. Just like if you take an artist and take them to the moon and then they get big headed later on and say, fuck you, I'm not that person. If you send me $3,500 out of 3 years, you know what I mean? And I didn't get on Say Cheese and talk about you or tell the real tea about what happened while I was locked up, you should be a happy camper. You know what I mean? Like, why would you go and cap? Because I could have said, well, she held me down, but this, and this. But me just being happy to be out of jail, I came out, yeah, my girl held me down, this, and this, got her this, got her that, got her this. You seen the steps? You seen the follow-up of what she got? She got more than any. How can you go online and tell other girls that really are homeless, that really have bad boyfriends, that really is getting beat up, you know what I mean, that really is working jobs making $30,000 a year, that you're homeless? That's like a smack in the face to people who are really going through struggles because you're spoiled.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, this is the similar thing that happened to it happened quite a bit to different people, but one um, significant person that did this was and it did this to the extreme of what he's talking about, because what he's saying is she went on Instagram and was saying that she's homeless, basically woe is me. She was, doing some attention seeking online. A lot of people do that. That's actually very similar to the syndrome that people do to pretend like they're sick so they can get attention. Well, some people do the same thing with trying to get attention. They basically pretend as if something is worse than what it is, like basically so they can garner some attention. Dwayne Wade, his ex-wife, basically, or baby mama, not sure if I don't remember if they were married or not, but she had a sign. I thought she probably thought it was funny at the time or whatever, that she was homeless, when in fact she was not homeless. And basically, um basically trying to garner attention because she was having a custody battle with Dwayne Wade. So the thing is that this is definitely similar to that.
You had her on allowance. We pay her thousands a week. Listen, bro, no cap. You know me. You see how I spend money. I'm in the crib right now. This is $10,000 a day. You get what I'm saying? So understand, when Dime wants money, she gets money. No cap. She be like, I might send her 500. I might send her 1,000. I might send her 2,000, 3,000. Dime has thousands of dollars worth of bags, $4,000, $5,000 bags. She goes out to eat every single day. That adds up to thousands of dollars a day. Uber Eats is not cheap. Dime don't cook, don't clean. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person to put her out like this. But when a girl don't cook, don't clean, and then I have to hire maids all the time, and then you become careless with things. If you're very, very careless, like, well, I might say, damn, the dog just shit. You gonna pick it up? Oh, I just seen that. I'll get it. Like that irritates me. Or if I see my baby crying too much, or if his diaper ain't changed fast enough, I'll get irritated. I'll be like, damn, hurry up and change his diaper. Hurry up and do this, because
So yeah, I mean, the thing about it is he's telling the story about him trying to maintain some type of relationship. The only thing is, yeah, like, I mean, here's the thing, like, a lot of couples argue over the fact that either the man or the woman does not clean up by themselves, or a lot of times the expectations is the woman keeps the house clean, right? So a lot of times it's a situation where, for whatever reason, a lot of times people need to hire a maid to clean up the house, to just help out, like once a week or twice a week or few times a month, because it just helps out. A lot of times people are working, they're having issues with the children and stuff like that. And I'm gonna get into the children too. But a lot of times people will break up and have issues. The whole aspect of women working, they don't have time to clean, they don't have time for this and that. Well, that's where you come in to outsource that. Whatever you're not able to do, you should be making enough money to pay for someone to clean the house. And I'm not talking about a man should pay. I'm talking about whatever you can't compensate for as far as a woman. If you're going to be that professional elite woman, I'm woman, hear me roar, and you're going to take over corporate America, you know, well, out of respect, as a respect factor, y'all should, agree upon you and your husband, because basically that's an agreeable relationship. I'll get to that. Basically, I already got to it, but I talked about serving two masters in my videos. If anything, it might be on Patreon. But any event, you should be outsourcing whatever you're coming short with. A lot of times that's what it is in America. When you're making more money and you're getting more opportunities, well, you shouldn't shortchange the fact that you still need to keep the house clean. Your children are below a certain age. Basically, yeah, you should pay. What's an extra $150 um a week, or whatever the charge would be, to have someone come in and help you clean and wash clothes, wash dishes for like once a week, to give you a break, or twice a week, or however frequent you need help. I mean, basically, one of my startups, Al's Home Services, I do cleaning, residential and commercial cleaning, because the thing is that this isn't going to change. And a lot of times, the modern woman, she does not necessarily, I would even say in many cases, have the energy and time to clean. Well, whatever you don't have, that's one thing about capitalism and whatnot, or having money. Whatever you don't want to do, you can pay somebody to do it. And a lot of times women do not want to pay anybody to do it. Okay. They'll just not get it done. The house is messy, and then they'll just complain or make excuses about why the house is not clean, why they can't do the chores and keep up the chores. And they know that that's their job and they just dropped the ball. But instead of paying that extra money to pay somebody to help clean up the house, they'll just let the house go to shit. And then next thing you know, pretty much that's just one extra way for the relationship to one extra quiver in the fire, to basically have the relationship come to an ultimate end. Okay, so I'm gonna play more of this.
I'm doing so much. You don't have to do anything. Do you understand that it's girls that's going through some shit with these guys? Like, gee, man, she just don't know, bro. Like I say, she took what I took on social media and presented and ran with it in her mind. But nobody knows the truth with me and her. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to put her out there and blast her out like that. You know what I mean? But just know that it's deeper than what everybody thinks. You know what I mean? You don't get treated for a certain way like this for a reason. The whole marriage thing, right? That was a whole favor. That was a favor to help her look good in her situation that I'm going to tell you about. You know what I mean? But it was a favor for her because she was going through something with, somebody else she was dealing with. And I said, she was like, well, can you just do this? And then when we do this, you can just go ahead and do this. I'm like, all right, cool, for a favor, out of respect for her. You get what I mean? Because if I really wanted to marry you, where the hell is your wedding ring? Bandman, Kevo, marry a girl once she had the biggest wedding ring, and she had the biggest wedding. So I just feel like helping people will get you smacked in the face later. That's why I don't be too quick. Niggas be like, hey, bro, put me on. Girls be like, man, can you help me with this, help me with that? And when you see the closest people do stuff to you, you be like, damn, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing this? What is your reason for doing this? Now I'm always asking, post me more, share me more. That's when I was coming to you. I'm like, man, bro, I need to, get on this and the relationship stuff. Then I was like, nah, that's not.
Yeah, so that's enough of that. Basically, this is just like a short, and sweet, just kind of reminder that when you rise, and it's just kind of like one of the pros and cons of dealing with a subprime woman. You have the risk of, when you grow, financially, or you trying to keep that meteoric rise or whatever, she's not going to be able to come up with you. She's not going to be, a lot of times, let's face it, in our minds, in our subconscious, we are stuck that way. Whatever, however, the traumas and things that we went through as a child, you might need some type of divine intervention, some therapy to get out of that. You know, a lot of times that's why people are, you look at them and you like, well, I know this person is there, but they're not all the way there, you know, in their head, like they're just stuck, you know, and it's like, this is where this person is. It's like, you know, the whole term, the elevator doesn't go all the way to the top floor, because you're like, well, I mean, why don't you read books? Why don't you take a, you know, some type of course, or why don't you go to even church? I mean, do something to self-improve yourself. And ultimately, a lot of people are incapable of doing it until it's like something that happens to them and they either forced to do it or not. And a lot of times you try to bring people up with you, and they're incapable of maintaining that level, you know. And, you know, like I say, it might sound harsh, it might even be classist. I do not like to deal with people that just kind of on a lower octane scale, because like myself, I'm someone that I would say is striving to be as high as I possibly can. It's very difficult for me to just outside of, you know, having fun. It's very difficult for me to go past that, you know. And yeah, this is short and sweet. Well, not really short, but I mean short compared to me. I'm gonna just leave you with this here.
Second thing, a grown man don't need your help with his basics. A lot of you hoes don't know what to do with a man that already got his basics together. Meaning a nigga with a job, a car, his own place to stay. He takes care of his responsibilities to be able to feed and clothe himself. You hoes wouldn't know what to do with a nigga like that because you so used to them little boys that you got to take care of like a child. You used to being able to control and press a nigga and pressure them into a monogamous relationship with you based on you helping him with his basics. I done told you hoes, y'all think the nigga chose y'all. You go around bragging, act like the nigga chose y'all, but girl, he chose the Nissan. He chose to not be carless. That's why he stayed with your ass in a relationship where y'all so-called being monogamous, even though he low-key be wanting to fuck other bitches or probably already fucking other bitches. Somebody type on here, a grown man has his basics together. And a lot of you females, you done been with fuck niggas and pussy niggas and little boys so long, you wouldn't even know what to do with a grown man that showed interest in you, that already had this shit covered and is not trying to hide his flaws.